everybody. It's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing this afternoon? Oh, I'm a little bit earlier than I intended to be, but I have to do a test because we have new internet. We got new internet today. No, you're fine. It's not, no, King Paco, I think we misunderstood each other. My subscribers don't have an issue, and they didn't unsubscribe from me. You were mentioned on the Two Lees in a Pod. They were asking where you were, and they were basically making fun of the fact that you were on my thing helping me out, like in the sense of I was stupid and you were a traitor. It was the vibe I got. And I didn't want you to become in the crosshairs of people who you support because you were nice to me. Like you didn't know. I don't care. Here's the thing. I don't care if I lose subscribers because I allow people in my chat that other people don't like. That says more about them and the people who choose to unsubscribe because they don't like somebody in the chat than it does about me. I don't want you to be in the crosshairs of trolls and hater channels because they don't like me and you're in my chat. I never want anybody to become a target because they associate with me. That happened to Flash Fan. He became a target of a hater and a troll because the person who was trolling him does not like me. So you are always welcome here. And if other people in the chat don't like you, that the fact that you're here, they can just go. My thing is, my mentality is, for those of you who are new here and catching for the first time, I allow anybody in my chat, doesn't matter who else they watch, if they subscribe to somebody that I don't particularly like, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is how you treat me and how you act in my chat. It's one of those things of like what people do the other 22 hours of the day that I'm not streaming. Oh, there you go. There you go. Is that all you wanted? Is that all you wanted? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, what everybody does the other 22 hours of the day that I'm not streaming, roughly, it's like y'all do you. Like, I am not one to tell people what they can and cannot do. I just don't want anybody to become a target of trolls and internet slander because of the fact that they associate with me. So for that, I apologize. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's so I ran a speed test right before I shut off the old internet. Because I paid for it for the month, so it's like I don't have to return it like immediately. And I always like to make sure the new stuff works out before I cancel the old stuff. And I did a speed test. My speed test on the new internet was, the download speed was, and I screenshotted it because I sent it to Mr. Squid. Download speed 983 megabytes per second, upload speed 25. So I keep forgetting to thank people who have contributed to the Amazon list. Is like I always forget, but I am so grateful for everybody who contributed to the Amazon list. I do still have it up. It's in the description, but I'm also not one to, I'm horrible at grifting. Awful. God awful. Most of the time people do it for me. Yeah, Flash Fan, I started early because we got new internet, and at one, I needed to test it. Second, because he was running behind, super nice guy that installed my internet, super nice guy. However, he was supposed to be here between 8 and 10, and he didn't get here until like after 11 o'clock. And because of that, I was supposed to go to the gym and do class at 12. And because of missing class at the gym, I just decided to go live early, and I'll work out after so that I don't have to like stress about trying to take a shower, dry my hair, and all of that. Hey, King Bob. This internet's much better. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I do that way because like usually when I get home from the gym, I'm like stressing about time and like I gotta cook dinner, and it says it's Tuesday. I gotta work tonight. So we're going to we're gonna no, he actually could find the house. He called me like 3 times. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm running behind. Like super nice guy, but has way too many clients today and not enough hours in the day. And because I am stay at home, he's like, would you mind if I pushed you back? And I was like, fine, like I'm here. I just thought he would be out by like 11:45 and that I could still go to the gym. So it was one of those things of like, yeah, here we are. One thing I did, so internet, I did not, I was passed out. Oh, hey, Yeety. All right. I did get a hold of the, someone sent me the police report on the arrest affidavit from yesterday's stream. I will read it probably tomorrow. So yesterday, MLS's lawyer's response was due. And I have it. And we're going to read through a little bit of it. And yes, Teresa, yes, thank you for the shower curtain and stuff like that. We're doing her bathroom in mermaid theme. So she's got unicorns in her bedroom and mermaids in the bathroom. So I just haven't hung them up yet because of the simple fact of we as in he left our second shower curtain at the old house. I'm like, both of those were ours. You could, bring them, but he left the shower curtain and everything too. So I had to buy a new thing. Like, it's good. I got Talk Studio for Streamlabs. I got bad news. This is not over Stream Deck. The shortcut is stupid. Well, can't win them all. Can't win them all. Hey, Jude. You see a big difference in actually needing some things with a wish list compared to asking for cash with no transparency as to what happens to it. I mean, that is a good point. Like when you give super chats or even Venmos, you don't know exactly where, but with the stuff, you know that like it's going to be used. And the lights, oh my God, the little is obsessed with her room now. I'm obsessed with her room. I'm obsessed. Yeah. Yeah. Mermaids in the bath and unicorns in the bedroom. Oh my. And hey, Musi. And it is very appreciated. Yeah. And that's right here is what we were going to kind of talk about. Oh, hey, Ghost Fox. How are you? I saw you up in the chat earlier. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. How are you? It is so good to see you. So many new things. Yeah, we got a house. Got a house in Thursday Angel. Good to see everybody here. All right. And I'm sorry if I'm talking funny today. I bit my lip. And like now every time I talk, I feel like it's rubbing against my teeth. And it's like poking a bruise every time I like talk. So. Ran into MLS and AJ's chat, was ignoring him until he started giving AJ grief about asking him a simple question about standby counsel. I wanted to ask how you like being a defendant. Yeah, and I've seen him in other people's chats too, and I'm just like ignoring, like I ignore him. I don't have any hatred for the man. I just don't like when people lie to me and also share my DMs. And him making a YouTube video being angry about the fact that I blocked him and sharing my DMs, I'm just like, and I didn't technically block him that day. I just timed him out. But then he decided to share our DMs and make me a topic of conversation in his Discord. So I just said, you know how I am when there's drama and like you cause problems. I'm just like, I have no hatred towards you. I just go. Like, I don't care where you go, but you just go. Like, you don't have to go. You don't have to go home. You just can't stay here, kind of thing. It's, just one of those things. All right, so we are going to get into this motion. Let me share it. Flash fan, I understand that. I can understand. I just think I'm too over everything. Like, so many people in real life and on the internet have tried to cause drama in my entire life. This is not recent. This is just in general. And hi, Daphne. It's one of those things of like, it takes too much energy to hate. Like, there's a phrase that says like, hate only corrodes the container it's stored in. Like, and it takes too much energy and time to hate people. Yeah. So I have no ill will towards MLS. I just prefer non-dramatic things, and yeah, we're here to have fun. Yes, hate is a wasted emotion. Very, very true. Oh, and thank you, Photo Lady 12, as well for the Amazon. And I'm not sure if he is, good for him. I mean, sometimes you just gotta cover your ass or save your ass. And you're too emotionally stable. I wouldn't say it's emotionally stable. I would say it's too tired to give a shit. Plus, I learned a long time ago. Oh no, Jude. Oh, I will be praying for you. I'm sure everything will work out. If it's open heart, good luck. Everything will be fine. And if it's just like a cath, that's minimally invasive, and most people I know are out of the hospital within a day. Yeah. That's just, remember, nothing in this case on either side affects your life, so just sit back and watch. And that's kind of how I yeah, I don't like what they're doing. I can't allow it to affect my life offline. And that's the thing. Like, it's just one of those things where, so I always describe myself as petty, but there's like a level of petty that I subscribe to. I learned a long time ago that hate and bad feelings and negative feelings about people only affects me. Yeah. Hey, Dad, don't Lord. It only affects me. Nobody else. It doesn't affect anybody else in the world. And at the same time, it's like the people who do allow you to live rent free in their heads, when you don't care, they get even more angry, which is hilarious. And my petty side is like, well, knowing that I don't care makes you more angry. That's why when people were sending me like screenshots of like other channels talking about me, or the hater channels talking about me, I was like, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it only affects them. It doesn't affect me. So, like I said, I have no ill will for MLS. It's just, he's just not. And it's not that he's not welcome here. It's just, I just eliminate. I have a hard time with like people that cause drama, like letting them back in after they've caused drama. Dude, I used to work on a cardiac surge floor. So, being I'm not a nurse, but I was on a cardiac cath and a pulmonary hypertension unit with a lot of catheterizations, and then I would float to the floor below, which was cardiac surge, and work with a lot of the open hearts, heart transplants, LVAD patients. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I have a feeling you'll be fine. Yeah. And I saw your comment up here, Donna. But it may have missed something along the way. MLS has a channel called Making Law Simple. He used to do Lego streams. I don't know if he still does. Like I said, I have barely enough time to pay attention to the people I want to watch, let alone the people that I don't want to watch. And he interviewed Shara, and he kind of made a video that made Jeremy very angry. And as much as I kind of agreed with that video, it's just one of those, like, I just keep my mouth shut because I just keep my mouth shut. It's just one of those things of, like, I don't get involved until people involve me. And Bruce did that. So in this situation, I'm not pro one side or anti the other or anything. I am anti Bubbles. I could really care less about anything else. Like, hey, Mochi. And Knock It Off, Lair. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Morning, Squiddy. I pray for a great day. It's been a busy day, but it's a good day. It's a good day. I'm glad the internet is working, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a good switch. All right. So I saw one more super chat that I'm just going to mention before we and Janice, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Love your videos. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's here. I honestly didn't know either. I don't know. I would assume he is, but I don't know. It's one of those things of if people's videos don't show up on my like recommended page, I have a hard time like actually getting like I pay attention to what comes up, and if nothing comes up that, you know, Bubbles got his degree from What's the Matter, You? Yeah, I found the best answer to anyone hating on you. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Angel. Bye. No. You're supposed to be taking a nap. She was in her room taking a nap. That what made Jeremy angry was he tried to get LMNOP and Jeremy on his live when they first did Thomas's tier. Oh, that is right. Okay, you're right. You're right. I forgot. I knew there was something where he told everybody not to contact her, and he did, or whatever. I don't know. That's when I was like, the Thomas's was the only thing that I was paying attention to this case, because he was the entertaining part, and I'm all for holding people in power accountable. So when I saw a crappy judge, you want to go get you want to go get a snack? No. What do you want? Hold on, you guys. She is trying to get my attention for something, but I can't understand what she's saying, so I'm going to let her go show me. I will be right back. Y'all take your an intermission, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be was running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. It laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be. We're gonna be.
Hey guys, sorry about that. She wanted something that she's not allowed to have, so we had a little bit of a problem. Yeah, it's okay though, right? I love you. No. Oh, okay. Well, All right, let's get into this. And hey, Musey, Mama Joe. All right. And thank you, Jude. You're $4.99 super chat. You're the best. And Stats, I did see a super sticker from you. I'm sorry. Streamlabs is still not cooperating with letting me see things easily, so I do apologize. But we will get into this. We will get into what we are here for. Yeah, I did see that. Nope, no reply from BBB yet. I checked it right before I went live, and I had not. I believe MLS stems back to the TPO and Levy County nonsense, then became unhinged when JH declined to do a Lego stream with him, and then went live with Larry and Chandler. Yeah, I do remember something like that. My timeline is a little off in how I remember it, but yeah, like. All right, you ready to read? I swear the first time she uses pecuniary advantage, I've either won as a parent or I am completely screwed for the rest of her life. Or the rest of my life, with how she talks to me, because she's going to talk to me like she's smarter than me, which she probably will be. It's not hard to be smarter than me. All right, defendant David Helms' motion for more definite statement as to counts 6, 12, and 13. Defendant David C. Helm, pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 8 and 12, which, just in case we need a reminder, Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 8 is general rules of pleading, and 12 is defense and objections when and how presented, motion for judgment on the pleadings, consolidating motion, waiving defenses, and a pretrial hearing. I have all the Cornell Law School has a very good law school legal information institute. It's basically a law encyclopedia for dummies, which is perfect for me. Hereby seeks a more definite statement as to the claims. I always want to say definitive, and that's not, definite statement as to the claims asserted against it in count 6, 12, and 13, and in support thereof states, plaintiff has filed a defamation action against Helm and various other co-defendants revolving around plaintiff's social media presence on the media platform YouTube. The first 98 paragraphs of the plaintiff's complaint outlines in detail the factual allegations against the various defendants and the tortious acts that he believes forms the basis for his claims against Helm, and additionally has commingled all defendants, including Helm, within counts 12 and 13, alleging charges of civil conspiracy and aiding and abetting, respectively. Count 6 of plaintiff's complaint against Helm is labeled as defamation. However, within that count, in paragraph 135, plaintiff alleges that count 6 is an action for damages against Helm for $520,000 for defamation per se. In count 12, plaintiff confusingly groups together all defendants within the allegation of civil conspiracy for, quote, the purpose of which was to commit the torts of defamation, defamation per se, and tortious interference with advantageous business relationships. This made even more confusing by the fact that this count is entirely void of any factual detail as to how all of these parties advanced said conspiracy. The same is true of count 13, which is also absent any detail as to how Helm aided and abetted defendants Preston and Cook, despite no factual allegations of their ever meeting. Given the confusing nature of the allegations against Helm, commingling of the allegations against all defendants, and the inconsistency in the way Helm's allegedly defamatory conduct is described, Helm seeks a more definite statement of plaintiff's claims. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I can understand. Okay, I can't respond to these when I don't understand the claim and how my client is related to it. I don't blame him for writing this. And this is very well written. Okay, we made it through an entire page without having to stop and talk about how poorly it's written, sentences that don't make sense. Where's the other 28 pages and all the BS? I don't know how MLS found this lawyer, if this was like someone that he knew from law school or just networking he knew. But this is a very well-written, this is Angel, you can't sleep like that, baby. You know, but then, no, this is his lawyer. Yeah, this is his lawyer. I think Eric was being facetious, that this is well written and concise and not 20 pages of snark and argument and whining and no descending colons. Yeah, he still starts off as well as heading includes Gainesville Division. Like the original filing, you would need to see the original filing, the original lawsuit. I can open that up. I do have it. We read through it. What the Hales? Federal docs, new lawsuit. I need to put this back here. The complaint. The complaint itself is 57 pages, so we are not going to go through all of that. However, we will refer to the parts that Jeremy is trying to, or MLS's lawyer, I'm sorry for my confusing of names, that MLS's lawyer is trying to bring up. At least we won't be any stupider. Yes, there's no YouTube. YouTube was mentioned once so far, and it was mentioned for the purposes of, that's what Jeremy's lawsuit centers around, what is being said on YouTube, and that's appropriate. That's an appropriate use of the word bubbles. Imagine not having to stop and scratch your head trying to figure it out. Yeah, like attorney Christopher Gage. He's from Tampa, or at least that's where his suit or his firm is at. All right. Plaintiff must provide a more definite statement as to his claims against Helm, given the commingling of allegations against Helm and all other defendants in counts 12 and 13, and the inconsistency in the allegations within these counts and count 6. Plaintiff should be required to provide a more definite statement as to the claims he's asserting against Helm. Rule 12E provides that a party may move for a more definite statement of a pleading to which a responsive pleading is allowed, but which is so vague and ambiguous that the party cannot reasonably prepare a response. Hatton v. Fort Myers Police Department, Middle District of Florida, March 2014. quoting Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12E, pleadings containing definite statements permit a defendant to discern what a plaintiff is claiming, a defendant to frame a proper responsive pleading, and a court to manage its docket with greater ease. When a plaintiff, however, lumps defendants together without putting them on notice as to the claims made against each of them, the plaintiff runs afoul of the pleading requirements of Rule 8. Woo! Do you want to go in your bed? No? Do you want to come up here? Okay, are you good, right? Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah. That I do kind of have a problem with the fact that all of these defendants are lumped together. I understand that they all did the same thing, but they all had different actions to do it. And that to me is just confusing, to try to discern everything. So, you know, but I believe that this lawyer will also make Jeremy provide more evidence, which at the same time will be a good thing. Because right now it's all ambiguous and vague, and I have evidence, but I haven't shown it. And I think that's part of the problem with everything going on, is that there's just so many people and there's just so much stuff that the conspiracy, to me, and this is my personal opinion, the conspiracy claim, and once again, not a lawyer, just a lay person who likes legal stuff. Yes, however, in a lawsuit, you do need like definite claims, and you can't have vague pleadings like, oh, tortious interference with business relationships. How about, like, I would phrase it as tortious interference with my whatnot business contract, or a little bit more specific. And when you have all these defendants lumped together, it becomes a very messy, like the judge said in the first lawsuit, it's supposed to be an easy case. It's one plaintiff, two defendants, straightforward. This is one plaintiff, 10 defendants, and not one of them did the exact same thing. They all had different actions. So the only count that I believe logically they should be lumped together in is the conspiracy, because that is all together. But as far as like putting them all under one, for defamation, putting them all under one count of defamation, they all said and did different things that, yes, were defamation, but it's confusing when you say, well, he defamed me, well, he defamed me, well, he defamed me, but they all said different things and had different actions that still qualify as defamation, but they didn't make the same statements. So it would be confusing, and as a lawyer, I don't blame him for asking for a more definite statement. It's a holding party. Wait till discovery to get full information. Yeah, but yeah. So, well, he's also asking, like, what is your specific claim? Like, what is not the evidence of your specific claim, but what is your specific claim? It's the difference between, like, you defamed me and you defamed me by saying this on this date. It's very, yeah, that's a good point. Randy should have provided a definitive nexus as to how they were acting as a conspiracy. The conspiracy one, I understand grouping everybody together. However, the other claims, it just gets muddy. And in a 57-page lawsuit, it gets muddy. Everything gets, oh no, feel better. No, that is not, no ma'am. Hold on. Thank you guys for the awkward silence. I like to try to mute when I know she's about to scream or when she's in the process of screaming because y'all didn't sign up for that. And I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums. There is no doubt in my mind that Jeremy has the evidence. Being one of 10 as flipped could get wild when the evidence starts getting dropped. Yeah, and there is a whole bunch of stuff, but it's muddy. So I understand in a way why they did it that way. It's just, to me, it's messy. And this is coming from somebody who's cognitively impaired. So like keeping the names and what exactly they did and everything straight. And I think I saw somebody's, yeah, and I get that. That's where the conspiracy comes in. However, it's one of, this right here. I'm sure Randy anticipated this, and he'll do individual replies, so the original filing wasn't hundreds of pages, and that's part of the issue too. It's how do we manage? I say we as just a society. How do we manage holding a bunch of people accountable, but not filing these hundreds and hundreds of pages of lawsuits? Because we're still trying to make our way through the Ruby Frankie lawsuit, and that's like 200 pages. We just got done reading through the initial complaints for both Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And those were, I think Justin's was 179 pages and Blake's was like 150. It's these ridiculous long lawsuits. And I think, oh, I'm sure he does. Oh, baby. Okay. Hey, baby. Water? You're gonna spill it? Here we go. Woo! Dip down and then take it away. There we go. Down and away. Water? I wrote hundreds of conspiracy cases in the criminal world, and showing a specific nexus as to how 3 or more defendants conspired is crucial to making a case provably. You're gonna get too much and you're gonna choke, baby. Little bits at a time. Your water's in the kitchen. Oh, okay. Mine's not good enough. Hey, thanks, Kat, for the $5 super chat. Banana Fund. Yeah. Oh, she's just, yeah, I know. However, I also don't like to blow out people's eardrums because this girl has a set of lungs on her, like an opera singer. MLS after the Lego stream went hard on Jeremy with slander and just pure madness. I didn't pay attention to a lot of it, but it was like, I just, there's sometimes, and Flash Fan, you and I have talked about this, just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. And that's when you should, like, if you're going to complain, and you complain to them, and just some things you don't say on the internet. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Oh no! Yeah! Oh no is right, baby. I can't get her to say water. She says, I want. Like, it sounds like Hawaii is when she says water. I'm like, she says, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yesterday, Mr. Squid came home feeling like crap. He texted me and said, do we have any Zyrtec? I was like, the little has Zyrtec. He goes, that's it. That's fine. Order some. At one point in history, I thought MLS was the most cool, calm, and collected person. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, making agua is easier. Yeah. She also tends to watch videos that aren't in English, and I'm wondering if she just picked some stuff up along the way. That she's actually saying, like, water. She's just not saying it in English. Just a thought. The comment is true. MLS started drama with Jeremy. Yeah, I feel like he started drama with a lot of people. Only just a lot of people just like ignored him, and Jeremy filed a lawsuit. Hey General, how are you? Yeah, something like that. Like she's literally, there's been a Mandarin I know, and there's been a few languages where I'm like, is that Swahili? Like, what are we, it kind of looks like Helm is trying to determine what Jeremy knows so he can be more helpful in turning on the others. I don't know, and I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna like. I don't even know how to work on that. But I don't even know how to like what I would think about that. I haven't thought about that. Because I'm all for covering your own butt and not paying attention to what other people are doing. Yeah, I haven't and don't watch MLS, but I thought he might be the hardest one to keep in the lawsuit. MLS was, besides Legal Vices, was the only other lawyer that's ever been on my channel. Angel. Here, you put it down. I'm not opening it for you. You have water. You have water. Who is MLS? He's a lawyer from Michigan. He has his own practice too. Oi. Yeah, the issue I see in the affidavit is I don't see a clear connection of Helms to a party defendants. That connection is crucial to any conspiracy or criminal. The only thing that I can maybe there was Jedi Jess, but she's not a YouTuber. She claims she's not a YouTuber, but she is. She's a mod on Baker's channel and Baker's Discord. Yeah, this right here. He told Jeremy who's going to call Lynette to ask questions that got him angry. And I also know that this would be what comes out in discovery is what were the communications between MLS and Lynette and John. There's the $1 million question. I don't watch the Lego things. I don't do Legos, and I find it boring to watch. And that's totally fair. A lot of the Lego streams I watched just because it was kind of like me doing a chill stream and just listening to, like, it was just friends talking. That I kind of liked. Not the Lego part. I can come or go. However, the Lego part can come and go, but I kind of like sometimes just chill streams, listening to people that have things in common and that get along as friends, just talk. That I kind of, that I enjoy, but I enjoy talking to my chat. So y'all know how that goes. So this is Rule 8, Pershansky v. Brown, Middle District of Florida, July 15th, 2013. Under this rule, when a complaint alleges that multiple defendants are liable for multiple claims, courts must determine whether the complaint gives adequate notice to each defendant. In complaints with claims against multiple defendants, the factual allegations must provide each individual defendant with fair notice as to the nature of the claim against that defendant and the grounds for each claim. For this reason, when a plaintiff groups defendants together, a more definite statement may be required to provide appropriate notice. In Pershansky, Middle District of Florida required a more definite statement when a plaintiff alleged a negligence count against 2 elevator companies by pleading that they were responsible for the manufacture, installation, and maintenance of the elevator on the premise, and that they were negligently manufactured, installed, and maintained that elevator, causing the plaintiff's injuries. Applying the above rationale, the district court determined that the plaintiff was required to provide a more definite statement, separating the allegations to each defendants in separate counts, to provide them with fair notice of the allegations and claims before being required to answer the complaint. And based on the fact that this lawyer has spoken to Randy, I'm sure Randy knew this was coming. This doesn't seem like a those chill streams, and that's totally fair. Sometimes make me feel like I'm in a restaurant listening to the tables next to me have a conversation. That's fair. Nuh-uh. Get that out. Thank you. We don't cover our face with plastic. Oh my goodness. Mwah. And I don't think Randy is going to object to this because I have a feeling because they spoke, Randy knew this was coming. That's the other benefit of speaking to a lawyer about something before you file a motion. The other lawyer knows it's coming and can not only be prepared, but doesn't always have to provide a response because he knows it's coming. You don't, and it's just the communication. Yeah, just wait. It's gonna get more fun. Yes, this right here, it's so refreshing to see two lawyers talk to each other with respect. Like, that's why I came here. She's making you work. Yeah. Oh, just wait. Here, you want this? Yeah. There you go. She knows what to do with it. Oh, okay. Bye. Bye. She got what she wants. Now she's gonna go sit and watch YouTube. Like, this is very, very well written. Like, this is clear, concise, cites the case law. The case law makes sense. It's not. I have my issue with Bubbles' writing is when I read the case law, I'm looking at it like, can't he explain that simpler? This is clear, like separating the allegations to each defendant into separate counts to provide them with fair notice of the allegations and claims. Totally understandable, totally fair. In order for him to write, in my opinion, a good response, he needs to know specifics, like what exactly are you alleging for me versus everybody else. Separate me out. Tell me what you're requesting from me specifically, or you are accusing me of specifically, then I can respond appropriately. But lumping, oh yeah, and that one got taken down too. Ask me how I know. I didn't do it, by the way. I just know. As much as I like to make fun of Bubbles, it's one of those things of this is not a case of Suits where someone could take the bar exam and not go to law school. So I'm sure he graduated from law school because he took the bar exam in not one state, but two. So this is the problem. My thought process is, remember how I said it earlier in the stream, how when you hate somebody else, the only person it affects is you. The other people, life, like I hate some celebrities, but guess what? They don't care. Their life keeps going on. The world keeps turning, whether I'm angry or not. And if I'm angry, the only person who's affected by my anger is me. It's kind of one of those situations of, I feel like Bubbles is an angry person. And because he's angry, it clouds his judgment and everything. And someone sent me I read it a long time ago, but somebody sent me an opinion piece that Bubbles wrote in a newspaper about moving to Armenia. I read it months ago. I didn't feel the need to talk about it because it's poorly written, but he puts everything on as everybody else's fault. And like, he's just doing the best he can when everything is everybody else's fault. It's one of those situations where when you feel like you are slighted by the world, it's, what do they say? To a hammer, everything's a nail. When you have this internalized feeling of discomfort or you're uncomfortable with yourself, it makes it really hard to function with other people. And I think that's the problem. Like, somebody slighted him back in the day. The problem is Bubbles thinks he's right all the time and doesn't accept others' opinions. Bubbles sounds like my mother-in-law. everything is everybody else's fault. Nothing is their fault. But it's one of those things that I think something happened to him where he got very angry, and then it just like, I'm not saying it's childhood trauma. I'm just saying something happened where he seems like he's a very angry and upset person, and like if you have that, if you wake up angry, nothing in your day is going to go right because you're going to be angry at everything and everybody. And I think he has this internalized anger that he's just, you can't get along and you can't like anybody else if you don't like yourself. Like, good, it's your fault. I need to go to the bathroom. JH's fault for me being harassed, and this chat's fault for me being a dum-dum. Oh, it's the spoon's fault for why I'm fat. Yeah, world derangement syndrome. That's it's a really good way of, yeah. Oh, so I did a thing yesterday. When we are done reading through this, I will tell you what I did yesterday. Some people already know, but some people don't. So, applying the above rationale, the district court determined that plaintiff was required to provide a more definite statement separating the allegations as to each defendant in separate counts to provide them with fair notice of the allegations and claims before being required to answer the complaint. See also Pro Image Installers, Inc. v. Dillon, 2009, Northern District of Florida, January 15th, 2009, a complaint that lumps all the defendants together in each claim and provides no factual basis to distinguish their content fails to satisfy Rule 8. Lane v. Capital Acquisitions and Management Company, Southern District of Florida, 2006, requiring an amended pleading where the plaintiff failed to comply with Rule 8 because the complaint alleged violations by the defendants, lumping them together in each claim and failing to provide a factual basis to distinguish their conduct. Hughes v. American Tripoli, Inc. He is providing a lot of case law, which, once again, I think obviously he spoke to Randy about the other motion, so I'm sure Randy knew this was coming. But this is very well written. For those of you who don't read documents very much and have only like Bubbles and Randy to compare to, dare I say that this writing is better than Randy. I haven't seen Randy's writing where he's not dealing with Bubbles, so I could be completely wrong about their skill sets. However, he's pleading his case on why he thinks he should get. He's being very responsive and very persuasive with the case law. He's citing more than one case, which is definitely, if I were the judge, I'd be like, okay, there's not just one case, there's 4, 5, 6 as to why I should approve this motion. It's very well written. And you notice we're not stopping to go, what was he trying to say? Or who? Like, even his explanation and what parts of the case he chooses to quote makes very, very good sense. To be a so-called insurance lawyer, he knows his stuff. I mean, yeah. Hughes v. American Tripoli, Inc., Middle District of Florida, 2005, finding that allegations in which the defendants were lumped together despite their performance of different functions provide insufficient notice to the defendants and were confusing. This is my part. When you lump all those people together, and Randy's not alone, when there is a lawsuit with 1 or 2 defendants or 1 or 2 plaintiffs and a whole bunch of defendants, it gets very confusing as to who did what, when did they do it, how things, it's very confusing on what did this person exactly do? What did this person do? It's hard for my brain to keep track of. I have memory issues, so you can take that one with a grain of salt. And Spawn Trooper's here, and so is my dad. Yeah. How is it? It seems to be better. I'm Yeah, I've looked him up a little bit. I haven't looked him up completely. It was hard to find other cases that he's worked on. Sometimes you can find them easy on Justia and the internet as a whole, and other times it's like, yeah. So, like the Young Thug case, it's yeah, pretty much. Deuce sued an attorney he worked with, left the firm. He got fired from another one and can't get along with this Connecticut bar. Sincerely, he has a screw loose. I think there is an issue. I think there is a lumping together isn't bad if you actually show all parties relate to the conspiracy. The conspiracy for me is not the issue in how to relate all the defendants together. It's the other things, because I mean, MLS, even though he's on YouTube being in Michigan, it's not like he talks to the people. It's not like he talks to people on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, so the conspiracy I kind of get based on who's been on what streams and the communication behind the scenes. However, the other counts, lumping everybody together when they did different things, is confusing. Be it the judge and lawyers and are smarter than me, and I am not a legal scholar by any stretch of the imagination. I know the basics and I like to learn. It's just why I have a channel, so we can learn together. Like I always say, it's really hard to hold people accountable and make sure that they're doing what their jobs require them to do if we don't know what their jobs are. So I'm all about learning. Plus, if you ever, it's very easy to end up in the legal system without even trying. Somebody hits your car and you get hurt. Now you're, having to deal with our legal system as a plaintiff, but still. And it's very important to know the process so you know what you're getting into. And also, if you're being screwed over by a lawyer who's filing way too many motions and charging you way too much money and not actually doing anything. So it's always nice to know what yeah, without connection, there is no conspiracy. That's true too. BBB had in the country with that bar complaint. Megan stated the information last night as a pattern with BBD. Yeah, everything's a pattern. Like, yeah. Flash fan, drop the link to your Discord. I'm streaming a Georgia case in Court Watch, which is Flash fan Discord server, at 3 p.m. The legal system there is scary. Yeah, tell me how that one. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where the conspiracy comes in. But the other allegations besides the conspiracy, they all did different actions to, it's like one heading, like defamation, but they didn't all do the same thing for defamation. It's not like they were all on one podcast and we're all talking about this at one time. It was a podcast here, a podcast there, a podcast here. And they all said and did different things, which is what putting them all in one defamation case can get confusing. And to me, it's very confusing. So, but the conspiracy, I know, yeah. Yeah, oh my God, I would go nuts if I just covered this case. Plus, what are you going to do when this case is over? Like, ugh. Like, it's one of those, like, I can't see just covering one case. My attention span goes back and forth too. So, plus I like different things. We are going to start watching the Zachary Young CNN defamation case. Oh, so we can make fun of CNN and their lawyers together. Definitely need diversity. Yeah. All right. Let's see. In this case, Not only has plaintiff intermingled and lumped together the allegations against all defendants in counts 12 and 13, but plaintiff's allegations within count 6 inconsistently alleges defamation and defamation per se against Helm. Despite giving 98 paragraphs worth of factual background on the chronology of events that form the basis of plaintiff's complaint against all defendants, no description is given as to Helm's alleged involvement in the civil conspiracy or aiding and abetting. This missing information and improper commingling make it impossible for Helm to respond to the complaint and mount a defense against the alleged tortious conduct. It's not entirely wrong. I don't disagree with this. Wherefore, defendant David Helm respectfully requests an order requiring plaintiff to provide a more definite statement as to the claims pled against David Helm and any other relief this court deems proper. The conspiracy is the background emails between them that Shara has exposed in her videos. Yeah, but once again, if it's not in if it's not in the lawsuit, it's kind of like with the other case, how the judge didn't care about the background or the context because the context was not placed in motions and the judge only sees what's in motions. This lawyer is only going to respond to what is in the original complaint. He's not going to respond to hearsay about what the complaint is about, or what Jeremy says in a YouTube video that this complaint is about. He is only going to respond to what's in here and what's in that original complaint. So if that original complaint is confusing and muddled and stuff like that, he is right. He can't mount a defense for his client if he doesn't know what he's trying to defend. Oh yeah, I heard that. I got screenshots about that. Like, yeah. That's and the funny thing is that one goes against the First Amendment and 2 goes against our transparency in our court system, which is why the public is allowed in courtrooms to have a transparency with our legal system. So that is never going to go anywhere. I'm just letting everybody know, like, that's not going anywhere. And no Florida legislature is going to take that up when Florida is the most, in my opinion, the most transparent state in the nation as far as their court systems. They have the easiest way to access documents. They have sunshine laws that this stuff has to be made public. Even when you vote, and Florida people can confirm or tell me I'm wrong. But from what I understand, when you vote in Florida, in a state election or a national election, you can actually see the time. You can track your vote from the time you vote to the time it's counted. You can see your vote and if it's been counted or not. Florida is the most transparent. So trying to pass a law that's designed to take away transparency in our court system is not going to go well in Florida. Yeah. Yeah. Like yeah, but tell that to the judge in Delphi. Yeah. That's different. Indiana is. And what's funny is that judge was one of the ones that was championing getting cameras in state courtrooms. However, when it came to her courtroom, she all of a sudden didn't want cameras in her courtroom, which makes me instantly suspicious. So, and it's one of those things of like the original suit and addendum affidavit will follow. I believe so. There's already Harley's Law in Florida. What is Harley's Law? Is that a family court thing? So, and they always say, well, like that Lori person was like, you have no idea about the law. Like I'm like, I've read enough court cases to know if something is plausible. or if something is just straight up not going to happen. I'm not a lawyer. I've never claimed to be a lawyer. But there's just some things that that is not going to work. California, lack of transparency in juvenile dependency proceedings, unlike Florida. Yeah, and the juvenile justice system is weird to me. It's, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I just read the documents and give my opinion. So when someone says they're going to sue me for defamation for reading documents and giving my opinion on documents, giving my opinion on whether someone is a good or a bad writer is not defamation. Please tell me you don't know the definition of defamation without telling me. No, that Lori Ann that's in chat. I talked to her off of YouTube. Like I've like, you know, I see pictures. She was that Lori that's in chat, Lori Ann. She was on my first live stream when I could not figure out how to add myself to the stage. She was in my first live stream ever. I think she was one of my first 10 subscribers. Like, you know, Lori, the Lori in chat is secretly Lori Vallow. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Like, yeah. Lori. Oh, and that's not going on. What I don't get is a lot of industrial law being used where it is not really employment law issue, or am I missing something there? I don't know. Oh yeah, I know. Now once I saw Vallow, the second part, it made sense to me. Like it, you know. Harley's Law legally requiring parents to report missing children in a timely manner. Harley's Law legally. Is that from? Wait, no, that was Kaylee. I was like, isn't there a Kaylee's Law too for Casey Anthony? Oh yeah, the Lori that was trolling me. I think it's really good that you can access court hearings and documents. We can't do that in the UK. Some states are better than others. And it's all about attention. So if there's a lot of attention on a case, there will be more likely for the media to want cameras. However, in our federal courts, there's no cameras. And that is what I feel like there needs to be cameras in our federal court, because that's where some of the most shady shit goes down. So, you know. Oh, look at this. Certificate of conferral. Pursuant to Local Rule 7.1b, Plaintiff's Counsel and Counsel for Defendant David Helm conducted a meeting and confer via teleconference on April 7th to discuss this motion, and the parties were able to agree to a proposed order in which it is attached to said motion. And Bubbles, take note. This is how you write a motion for a judge, because remember way back in the day, I want to say like 3 or 4 months ago, Bubbles wrote a motion for the judge to for the judge, and we made fun of it. It can be done. This is how. This right here is how you write a motion that you want a judge to sign. Yeah. And Freckle Ginger, hey. So and how you confer with yes, and how you describe that you wrote or you conferred with counsel. Like, just this guy is an amazing writer. Be it I've only read 2 motions of his, but this is only 9 pages, and that is with the order. His motion is 6 pages. And here's Exhibit A. See, agreed order granting defendant's motion for more definite statement. This cause came before the court upon agreement of the parties on defendant's motion for more definite statement, and the court being fully advised in the premise is hereby ordered and adjudged as follows. Defendant's motion for more definite statement is granted. Plaintiff will file an amended complaint within 21 days of this agreed order. But the one thing he did mess up is he put the wrong judge. But, like, oh, Bridget, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kaylee's law makes it a crime to knowingly and willfully give false information to mislead a police officer's investigation of a missing child, with penalties if the child suffers from harm or death. Okay. I try not to do that. My little one is here, but I don't make content about her. Yeah, well, would you not report your child missing if mine was 10 minutes late? I was walking the floor is horrible. We don't have a fenced in yard now, so she likes to run around the house. And she likes to hang out on the neighbor's back porch because, I don't know, he's nice to her. Guy's got to be about our age, maybe a little younger. But she likes our neighbor, so she goes to hang out on his back porch. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, where'd she go? I freak out and it's like 2 minutes. I can't imagine not reporting anybody missing after a day. I know it's the district judge, but wouldn't you put the judge that's actually presiding over the case on it? Like, Squid Your Child is different than what LP and them do by far. And I don't pay much attention to that. Yeah, see Ruby Frankie. Yeah, we will get through that Ruby Frankie motion. Oh, that's just a really hard one to read through. Like, it's yeah. Yeah, I try not to. Although I did make a short about her bed, showing the lights under the canopy in her bed, but that was more of a thank you to you guys and to show you what contributing to that Amazon list that it actually went for her. So I just I trust no one with my nieces and nephews. Yeah, I trust no one but my mother and Mr. Squid with her. My brother and sister-in-law I trust too, but they're just younger and don't have kids. So like it's not that they're I don't trust them. It's just, it's my mother-in-law who I don't trust because she decided that she wanted to use my daughter as like a dress up. So, but this is how you write a motion, people. Like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm definitely not a law school instructor, but like, as an avid reader of legal documents, someone who has a background in medical and business writing, that is how you do it. But I do have this. This is the original complaint. So let's go to count 6. And this is 57 pages of fun. So count 6. Defamation for Matskin. Defamation for Hughes. Defamation Helm. Helm orally and in writing published false statements about Hales to third parties. The false statements were calculated to defame or diminish the reputation. And this was copied and pasted from each. This was copied and pasted for each defendant. So I think that's part of the issue too, is that they were copied and pasted. So if you look at 134 through 138, there's no actual like specific allegations. It just says defamatory publications, Hales suffered general damages. It's one of those like, well, what false statements did he make? So I believe, but he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I appreciate it, says Santiago. Squid protects baby squid and shelters her as much as she can, unlike others who exploit kids for views. Yeah, and I do think since we moved, having my setup where the wall is behind me. In the other house, we didn't have a choice. I had to stay, like, I was in the dining room at our old house. But here we don't have our guest bedroom is not a guest bedroom anymore. We have a pull-out couch. But for the most part, it's our office. And I think having this behind me, the wall behind me, and not having her be able to play behind me definitely helps. The expert, how are you? How are you doing today, my friend? But this is very well written. I just can't, like, do you notice how quick we got through it with sidebars and everything? 9 pages in an hour. Like, 9 pages in an hour. We would get through like 4 pages in like an hour and a half of bubbles and stuff. Like, this was easy to read. It needs to say where and when, or at least how he affected the defamation. Yeah, I just see like, and like I said, I'm no lawyer, but if I were pro se defending myself, I would want to know what I'm defending myself against. And here I'm just not seeing what I'm actually defending myself against. And that's a lot of money and I don't fault Randy for this because he put 10 people in a lawsuit. Like, you gotta, yeah. But like, that's a lot of money. And that's a lot of money to prove. So it should be it didn't take me 4 hours to read. Yeah. Like, Bad Duck, welcome back. Who let all us weirdos in here? I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. And normal is so overrated. Yeah, but in order to write a response to a lawsuit, you need to know what you're responding to. To just say, like, if the expert came on here and told me I defamed him, I'd be like, how? And he would probably give me a more specific answer than orally and in writing. Well, what days, like, what in emails to this person on your YouTube channel, like something specific. Yeah. Bye, Cindy. It's just one of those things of, like, I don't disagree with this motion. Like, this lawyer is really, 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 I like this lawyer. I really like this lawyer. And that's bad because I don't like MLS. Well, like I said, I have no ill will towards MLS. We're just not. When you share my DMs in a YouTube video because you're mad at me, to me, that's a level of petty that not even I will go to. However, yeah, I think that's probably right too. But I feel like we're going to get this kind of motion from every other defendant as well, because if he can do it and it's copied and pasted for like, say, Jeremy, please don't do this, but say he was suing me and I was another defendant and I saw that MLS's lawyer was filing this motion and was successful with it, because all these are copied and pasted. I would want my lawyer to do the same thing. So how about when someone won't play Legos with you? And the only thing about playing Legos that I think I would have a problem with is, my brain and my figure ground issues make it really hard. If there's like a white sheet of paper on, like, or say you put white socks on a white bed sheet, if I'm just looking really quick, I can't see that there's a difference. I can't see the socks, even though they're there, because they're both white and they blend in together. And my brain can't distinguish that there's 2 objects there, not one. That was a really hard thing for me in college. We had a project to work on and I do something and I'm like, I can't do this. And my professor was like, what do you mean? I was like, remember there's that figure ground issue that you've taught us? You know, like I have that issue. So it's hard for me to do certain things, but at the same thing, at the same time, like I would do it because someone asked me, but that doesn't mean that I would ever do it on my own stream. Yeah, extremely. Like I had to drive the little to a dentist appointment this morning. She had a dentist appointment and I didn't. It was weird. But she did amazing. But I will tell you guys what I did yesterday and why driving the 2 miles to the dentist office was very difficult for me today. I did something yesterday. And that being said, I left my sunglasses in the this. So this is my new friend. This is my new baby. Come on. That's my new baby. So I did a thing yesterday. So yeah, I left my sunglasses in my old car and I, no, 5:02 tomorrow. And bye, expert. I don't know where you're going, but you have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Your internet seems much better, but still stalls sometimes. Yeah, I think also there's some YouTube things because like even when I was out today sitting in the waiting room trying to watch YouTube with her, YouTube was acting funky today. So it's you know, girls got to do what a girl's got to do. Well, if going for new miles, we'll do new. Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, I got some of those too, but that's not the point. Yeah, so it's a 2025 Toyota Crown Signa or Signia. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's probably the but now I'm poor again. So, all right. I think I am going to get going. I did not get myself a Maserati. No, I got myself a Toyota. Like, nice grocery gooder now you're a soccer mom. Yeah, it was the yeah. I haven't gotten anything new like that in almost a decade. So I was due, but I don't regret it, but to see any money that I had go bye-bye really quick. So if you see me doing some you know, I haven't named my cars. I've never named my cars. I don't know. What about a cruise? I will never go on I will never ever go on a cruise ever in my life. I have no desire to ever be on a boat. I have not one desire to ever step foot on a boat. That's not I don't know. Like I have no desire to ever step foot on a boat that's not I don't know. That maybe holds like 5 people, like a pontoon boat. Like I would go like a fishing boat. Totally there. But hold on. Since we are going through the going through the this is this is the meme I have on my phone. So there. Like, I have no desire to ever go on that top cruise because I've been on more than one of the bottom one. 3 hour. Yeah, and there's the thing with that. There's a issue with that. So, no, Hinkle was the original judge. However, because Belatho had the other case, he was put on this case too. So it's yeah, and fair for all. That is a good point. I just think that when you cite this many cases, that when you cite as many cases as Christopher Gage cited, that's it's not overkill, but it's one of those things of like, I'm more tempted to believe, and of course the judge is going to go search through all of them because the judge does. That's just what the judge does. But he when you cite that many, it makes, and you cite them in plain language, it makes me want to believe you more than when you cite one and what you cite out of it is garbled and a confusing mess that's very difficult to read. I'm a little, yeah. And yeah, this right here. And Randy agreed. So yeah, forced cruises, painting, mopping, scraping. No one can mop a floor like me. Speaking of that, I have to go work out and I actually have to do these floors. So oh, your mom, thanks. Thank you for your service. When and where do you serve? I was in the Navy as well, 8 years. 5 years from 2004 to 2009. I was squadron. I was aviation. But I worked I was on an aircraft carrier for 2 deployments. So with this response, MLS is not the mole. I don't know. And I don't know. For some reason, like, I'm like, is that something that Jeremy started? Like, only 360 subs until 4,000. I've been not paying attention because it comes in waves. Like, people subscribe and then like I gain 10 subscribers and then I lose like 3 or 4 and then I gain 5 and I lose 1 or 2. So it's like, it's been a slow climb, but I can't complain for only a year. So I worked on E2s. So speaking of aviation, I do have I was a figure skater in a former life. Before I moved to Georgia, and there's not an ice rink within like 3 hours of here. But it's beside the point. That American Airlines crash with with all the figure skaters on it. The one that collided with the helo. Well, the helo collided with it because it was in its landing pattern, so it's really hard to change. But that's a long story, and that's just how aviation works. I do have the preliminary report. From the NTSB. We will be reading that tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be reading that tomorrow. We will try to get through as much of it as we can. I might skip around and yeah. And this I agree. Woo, sorry. Various members of a conspiracy had their own roles for an evil purpose, even if all actions were not done by all persons. They performed a single evil act. Yeah, and I believe the conspiracy, the count 13, I don't have an issue with the way that was written. It's the copied and pasted of like the other counts and the defamation. Really, the defamation is what I have the issue with. That's easy for me to figure out. It's okay, you say he defamed you, but you didn't put how, where, and what the statements were. So like, as as a defense lawyer, I would be like, I need to know what this is just my thought, using my common sense. If I were defending a client, I would need to know what I'm defending them against. And just saying he defamed me through online and email or, written and oral forms, I'm like, what was the defamatory statement? I just need to, that would just been my but other than that, I don't have a problem with MLS being on this lawsuit. Jeremy can do whatever he wants. He's a grown man. But it's just one of those things, All right. On that note, I am going to get going. I have to go to work tonight, so I have to try to get in a workout, cook dinner, clean the floors, fold the rest of the laundry, and take a shower before work. Y'all have a great, great, great day. I am going to redirect. Sorry, I just got a text message and it popped up on my computer. So I was temporarily distracted. I do have a setup to go to Mo's afternoon stream that she has scheduled at 3:15. She is doing the she's still live. Linda Sturmer, day 6, the woman that is alleged to have unalived her husband and then set the house on fire. Slightly overkill to me, but y'all have a great day and tell her I said hi. Bye, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow morning.